I'm staring at the subject line like it's a joke typed by a drunk intern. Subject: termination of employment from Tessa Monroe, CEO. There's no letterhead, no attachment. Just that smug little sender tag, my sister, who spent the last 5 years as a self-declared lifestyle blogger and professional brunch enthusiast. I scroll down. The body of the message is worse. Effective immediately, your services are no longer required. Thank you for your contributions to Monroe Gear. That's it. No meeting, no warning. Not even a damn signature. I sit frozen in the corner of my home office above the garage, sunlight cutting sharp through the slats. The air smells faintly of cedar, from the gear prototypes lining the shelves, relics of 7 years of sweat. I can still picture the first folding table we set up at the Asheville Farmers Market. Pinewood boxes full of carabiners and flannel packs. I sewed myself on Mom's old Singer. And now, I get canned by a girl who once used our brand's emergency solar blanket as a beach wrap in Mykonos. My phone buzzes. Tessa's FaceTiming me. I should ignore it. I answer anyway. Her face fills the screen, filters on full blast. She's lounging in the CEO chair, my chair, sipping from the ceramic mug I designed for the first REI launch campaign. Oh my God, Erica, don't be so dramatic. It's not personal, she purrs, tucking blonde waves behind her ear. I just want a fresh direction, something elevated. My voice doesn't come. I just watch the glossy version of her, pretend this is strategy, not betrayal. She tilts the phone. Dad said you'd understand. He's letting me lead now. Says it's time for me to grow. I hang up. The screen goes dark, but the heat in my chest flares hotter. I swipe open a group text from earlier. Dad, give her space to lead. Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. Tessa. We'll always be sisters. Don't make this weird. The same people I worked 80-hour weeks for, who never saw the back-end code I built at midnight to keep our site from crashing after that REI feature. Who didn't blink when I gave up my own salary for 3 months during COVID to keep the warehouse team on payroll. I grip the edge of my desk. Breathe. It doesn't help. I text Priya, our HR director and the only person at Monroe Gear with a working moral compass. Me. Did you know? Priya. Not officially. But, she sends a screenshot. A Slack DM. Tessa. Sent 1:04 a.m. Erica can chill. She's got savings. This isn't a big deal. I almost vomit. My palms go clammy. I scroll up and see another gem from Tessa. Make sure you revoke her admin logins by EOD. She's still logged into asset folders, LOL. I built those folders. The next morning I drive to HQ. Not to start a fight, but to retrieve my sketchbook, the one I always kept in the corner cabinet by the sample table. Designs. Early concept notes. Legacy. When I walk in, it hits me like a perfumed slap. The entire place smells like vanilla bean diffuser sticks. My Pinewood signature scent? Gone. Even the front desk girl, who I trained personally last year, won't meet my eyes. I sign in under Visitor. The front desk tablet doesn't even recognize my email anymore. Inside my old office, I find the sketchbook right where I left it. But everything else has changed. The custom wood placard that once read Erica Monroe, co-founder and COO? Gone. The shelf of archival prototype gear? Cleared. Even the damn window plants are different. In their place, framed photos of Tessa on mountaintops. I recognize the shots from our 2021 shoot in the Blue Ridge Range. She wasn't even on that trip. She photoshopped herself in. I sit for a second on the edge of the now reupholstered office chair. Cream boucle, of course. On the wall, where the founder recognition plaque used to hang, there's now a new acrylic installation. Vision. Elevating outdoor living with style. Style. No mention of sweat, or loyalty, or freezing nights at pop-ups where I manned the booth alone while Tessa missed her flight because Ibiza ran long. As I leave, Priya catches me in the hallway. She doesn't say anything, just slips me a flash drive. Exported before they locked you out, she whispers. Then she glances around and walks away. I clench it in my palm like it's a lifeline. Outside, I sit in my car for 10 minutes. Doors shut. Engine off. My phone lights up with another message from Dad. Dad, don't let ego ruin the family. Support her. I stare at that sentence until my eyes burn. Then I delete the message. I drive home, park in front of the Craftsman porch I helped refinish last spring, and head up to the office above the garage. I place the sketchbook on the desk, and I swear, The moment it hits the wood, I feel something shift inside me. Not anger, not even betrayal. Something colder, sharper. Resolve. If she thinks I'm just going to disappear, she's about to find out who built the floor she's standing on. I never knew vanilla bean could smell like trespass. 2 days after getting fired, I stopped by HQ one last time, just to pick up a single box of old gear tags and vendor binders from the storage room. No drama, no eye contact. I walk fast, but halfway through the hallway, I hear laughter echoing from my former office. I peek inside. Tessa is twirling in front of a ring light, her stylist fluffing a branded jacket collar I personally designed for the Smoky Mountain launch. A photographer I don't recognize is clicking away while she poses in hiking boots that have never seen dirt. I want something aspirational, she purrs. But like boss lady on a mission vibes. Then I hear it. She took it from the vendor fund, right? The stylist asks, brushing hair from her lip gloss. Yeah, Tessa replies, snorting. It was, like, $3,000. Erica negotiated that deal. I just repurposed it. Legacy and all. My jaw tightens. The vendor fund. My vendor fund. That $3,200 was a one-time retention bonus from REI, secured after a month of grueling back-and-forth negotiation. Me and Priya worked double hours to land that contract. That money was meant for our long-term warehouse partners in Portland and Flagstaff, and she spent it on a vanity shoot. In my office, I step back, heart thudding in my chest like a ticking bomb. A few interns glance at me and quickly look away. No one says a word. By the time I get back to my car, my hands are shaking. I pull out my phone and check the bank app tied to Monroe Gear's vendor bonus accounts. Tessa didn't revoke my viewing privileges yet. There it is. A withdrawal labeled Marketing Enhancement, CEO Lifestyle Campaign Amount, $3,212.64 date 2 days ago. I sit there staring at it until the numbers blur. That wasn't a mistake. It wasn't an oversight. It was a message. She's not just rewriting history, she's erasing me from it. When I get home, I walk into the garage office. The whole space still smells like pine and soldered leather. My gear table is untouched. Coils of paracord, waxed canvas bolts, a stitched prototype pack marked MGEW01 in Sharpie. The first model we ever sold. My phone buzzes. It's Priya again. She's forwarded another message from Tessa. Tessa, to HR thread. Please remove Erica's name from the founder's wall by Friday. It's confusing to visitors. My throat tightens. That wall, our walnut slab etched with the names of the original 4 founders, is the first thing people see in the lobby. It's more than decor. It's the origin story. They're replacing it with a corporate mission statement printed on acrylic. I grip the desk edge until my knuckles burn. There's no room left for disbelief. She's not stumbling her way through this. She's gutting me on purpose. I don't cry. I don't scream. Instead, I go upstairs and make a list. Things I still control. The licensing agreements for the supply chain software. The domain registration for MonroeGear.com, billed annually to my LLC. 3 design patents for the ultralight modular packs. The original source code for the custom order system. The cloud backend for customer analytics, still hosted on my private server. Every line I write down is a thread in the web she's walking on. That night, I don't sleep. I sit at my desk, staring out at the dark treetops behind the house, sipping stale coffee, while Priya messages updates from the inside. She's keeping receipts, screenshots, Slack logs, including one that makes me stop breathing for a second. Tessa, to marketing channel, can we leak Erica's NDA terms? Just vague enough to make it look like she left to pursue other projects. She's not gonna sue. She has no idea how airtight my contract is. Priya does. She helped write it. But what burns isn't the legal risk. It's the arrogance. She thinks I won't fight. She thinks I'm too dignified, too self-controlled, too erased. At 1:34 a.m., I open the file Priya gave me. It contains everything. Financial snapshots, audit trail entries, Slack exports, access logs. I create a new folder on my external drive. Label it, Final Pull. I look around the office. It's quiet, familiar. Above the drafting table hangs a single photo. Me and Tessa at age 17 and 15, holding a cardboard sign that says, "See you at Gearfest." We're both in flannel, both laughing. I reach up and take it down. Time to build the exit ramp. But this time, it won't be for me. It'll be for her. 2 weeks after getting iced out, My phone buzzes with a call from Todd, our logistics partner up in Oregon. "Hey, Erica," he says, voice tight. "Can I ask you something awkward?" My stomach drops. "Sure." He hesitates. "Is it true you padded our shipping invoices to make your quarterly look better?" I go still. "No," I say immediately, but he's already exhaling like that's what he hoped to hear. "Tessa implied you fudged numbers on freight charges. Said there were legacy discrepancies she had to clean up. She wants to renegotiate the rate." The air in my lungs turns to ice. I thank him, hang up, and stare at the wall. That's the second logistics partner in 3 days. The first was a soft email from the Denver courier team asking for clarification on historical padding practices. Now I know where it started. Tessa isn't just cutting me out, she's rewriting my ethics. I open LinkedIn. And there it is. Tessa Monroe, CEO, Monroe Gear underneath, taking bold steps to clean up bloated operations and bring fresh energy to a legacy brand. She even tagged the official company page, which reposted it with a photo of her smiling on a rock ledge. The caption, "Change is never easy, but it's often necessary. Grateful to be stewarding this new chapter." The comments are full of clapping emojis and praise from board members who haven't been in the building in 2 years. Even Uncle Ray reposts it. I click on the article she linked, a 3-paragraph puff piece in Asheville Business Weekly. Tessa Monroe is bringing a sleek, elevated edge to Monroe Gear, cutting through outdated practices and streamlining operations. They quoted her talking about wasteful redundancies. And just like that, my systems, my blood sweat built infrastructure become liabilities. I text Priya. "Me." She told the press I inflated freight reports. Priya. "She didn't say your name, just implied. Legal safe, morally disgusting." I lean back in my chair, the sketchbook still open on the desk. A drawing of the original fold-down trail table stares back at me, every hinge and clamp labeled in pencil. Outside, the October wind moves through the trees. My coffee's cold again. Then my phone pings. A photo. From Priya. The founder wall. Gone. In its place, a sleek metal sign that reads, "Vision, Adventure Without Compromise" beneath it, a timeline. 2015, Monroe Gear founded. 2022, Next Generation Leadership begins. No names, no credits, no trace of me. I close my eyes. For a second, it feels like the ground tips. But then something snaps back into place. Let her have her vision, because I have the receipts. That night, I make a list on my whiteboard. Asset triggers. Domain redirect. 12 seconds to execute. Payment gateway revoke. 4 lines of code. Vendor API lockout. 2 authentication resets. Cloud analytics redirect. Hosted under EM Holdings. Licensing reversion clause. Still active under my LLC. They don't know that in her streamlining, Tessa skipped the legal transfer filings. She assumed I'd hand everything over. She thought I'd go quietly, nurse my wounds, maybe start a podcast about entrepreneurial burnout. She doesn't know I'm still tethered to every gear tooth inside this machine. And now she's setting it all on fire, thinking it won't melt her heels. The next day, I walk the wooded trail behind my house, the same one we used to test waterproofing, with spray bottles and duct-taped prototype boots. I remember the time Tessa hiked 5 minutes, tripped on a root, and cried for 2 hours. "I'm not built for bugs," she said. I kept my mouth shut then. I won't this time. Salt hits the back of my throat halfway through a granola bar when my phone lights up. Event invite. Monroe Gear Retirement Dinner Location. Asheville Botanical Garden guests. Staff and family time, 7 p.m. Except I'm not on the list. It's from the shared family Google Calendar. Except now I'm locked out. My color code, once blue Erica, is gone. No trace. I refresh the page twice, then 3 times. Nothing. I text Priya. Me. Did they really not invite me? Priya, I think you should sit down. She sends a photo. It's from the dinner. Tessa stands under string lights, holding a glass of champagne, smiling like she earned it. Behind her, a novelty cake with my old job title, COO, slashed out in red icing. Literally. Red gel squiggle across the fondant. The cake reads, "Cheers to new blood." My stomach turns. Priya's caption underneath is simple. "They think this is cute. I'm so sorry." I close the image, set my phone face down. For a long second, I just sit there, motionless, like grief has weight, and I'm holding all of it at once. Then something flickers. Not pain, clarity. Tessa always thought life was a season finale. That burning bridges was fine, as long as it looked good on camera. She thinks every fallout is just a subplot. But I'm not a subplot. I'm the one who built the pilot. That night, I open a folder in my drive labeled Legal Fallout. I created it during COVID, just in case. It contains everything I was ever too loyal to use. NDAs, old patent filings, access logs, screenshots, the licensing clause no one ever updated after we switched legal firms. Then I open the Slack export Priya gave me. One message catches my eye. Tessa, to Priya. Can we use Erica's non-compete to block her from starting something new? Or leak the NDA terms? Make her sound disengaged? I reread it twice. It's not just hostile, it's stupid. Because Tessa doesn't understand the NDA she signed. I wrote it. It doesn't bind me. It protects me. I pull up the Monroe Gear source code. Still mine. We used a hybrid license model. She'd know that if she ever read the legal summaries I sent her last year, right before she ghosted my 11-page operations handoff doc. By midnight, I'm pacing in my garage office, barefoot, cold coffee in hand, a whiteboard full of asset tags behind me. I send one message to Priya. Me. Can you confirm what server they migrated customer analytics to? Priya. Still pointing to your server. They never rerouted. Tessa thinks migrating means exporting a CSV. Of course. That's when I know. She's not just incompetent. She's dangerous in the exact way rich, unqualified people always are. She thinks ownership is about vibes. She thinks leadership is about vision boards and filter packs. She's about to find out what real ownership looks like, line by line, clause by clause. At 1:03 a.m., I open the redirect console. I test the triggers, set backups, verify domains. Then I open a new doc. It begins with a single line. Effective immediately, all assets associated with Monroe Gear revert to Erica Monroe Holdings under active licensing law. I smile for the first time in days. Because now, I'm done playing polite. The morning of Tessa's Vision Town Hall starts with a headline in Blue Ridge Innovators Weekly. Monroe Gear's fresh-faced CEO set to reveal new brand strategy in livestream event. I almost laugh. Livestream. She's allergic to transparency unless it comes with ring lights and curated backdrops. But this is perfect, because I've timed everything. At exactly 10:59 a.m., I sit cross-legged in the garage office, my burner laptop in front of me, Zoom logged in under Legacy Admin 04. Priya gave me the entry link. Tessa pops on screen at 11:02, all gloss and blazer sleeves, speaking in that slow, breathy tone she uses when she's trying to sound like a thought leader. Today marks the beginning of a smarter, leaner, more intuitive Monroe Gear, she announces, pacing in front of a branded banner. Interns smile nervously behind her. One is holding a cue card. Another fumbles with the HDMI cable. Tessa continues, it's time we leave behind bloated processes and step into the next era of outdoor innovation. Efficient, elegant, elevated. Buzzwords. Nothing but buzzwords. Then she says it. We've rebuilt our entire digital ecosystem from the ground up. That's my cue. I hit execute on the domain redirect across 800 devices, staff tablets, retail partners, investor dashboards. The Monroe Gear homepage vanishes, replaced by a black screen. White, blinking text fades in slowly. Effective immediately. All assets associated with Monroe Gear have reverted to Erica Monroe Holdings under applicable licensing law. Website, app, payment portals, supply chain backend. Access suspended, pending IP resolution. Tessa stops talking mid-sentence. Her eyes flick sideways to someone off camera. She waves, frantic. Behind her, the cue card intern gasps and drops his clipboard. Then silence. 30 seconds pass before anyone speaks. One intern accidentally claps, then freezes, wide-eyed. Tessa turns to the screen and stammers, we're experiencing a temporary back-end misalignment. But Priya steps into frame, smiling, calm, intentional. She unclips her mic and leans into the camera. Correction, she says. The back-end is working perfectly. It's just not yours anymore. The screen goes black. The live stream ends. I sit very still in the garage office. All I feel is stillness. No adrenaline, no shaking, just a cool, full-body silence. The kind that fills a room after a storm. 1 hour later, my phone lights up with 10 missed calls. Dad. Tessa. Legal. Investor rep number 2. Even Uncle Ray. I don't answer a single one. Instead, I forward Priya an email titled C&D Draft version 2. Then I check the admin logs. All portals are offline. Shipping accounts locked. The site still dark. The entire ecosystem she bragged about rebuilding? I built it. She just assumed I wouldn't unplug it. 3 days after the live stream blackout, I wake to a single email from Dad. Subject, I didn't know she'd go that far. No body, no apology. Just a header with the emotional depth of a sticky note. I delete it. I spend the morning pulling old contracts into a secure archive. Legal's already reviewing the stack. Priya's coordinating with our longtime vendor partners, sending over formal notices. Tessa tries to launch a new name. Monroe Outdoors. She posts a soft rebrand teaser on LinkedIn. New color palette, new tagline, nature refined. But it doesn't stick. Within 48 hours, 3 investors pull out. They don't want lawsuits. They want receipts. And those are all sitting on my desk. That afternoon, I find a cardboard box labeled Old Tax Docs in the back of my closet. I dig through receipts, vendor invoices, and test batch labels until I hit something small and handwritten. A note, folded and faded, tucked between papers. Thanks for camp, Erica. I'll pay you back when I get my first job. Love, Tessa. Summer 2010. I remember that summer. Dad's card had bounced mid-payment, and Mom pretended it was just a glitch. Tessa had thrown a fit in the car, sobbing about being the only girl in her friend group not going to sleepaway camp. So I paid for it. $680. Every cent from my cashier job at the gear shop downtown. I was 16, she was 14. She never paid me back. Instead, she spent that summer posting Polaroids and bragging about her independent spirit. That's when I realized she didn't see me as a sister. I was just the buffer between her and consequence. I sit on the floor of the garage, knees pulled to my chest, rereading the note. I think about every birthday I organized when Dad forgot. Every early investor pitch I presented while Tessa was in Ibiza, clearing her energy. Every time I was told to let her grow, while I held the damn roof up. I take a photo of the note. Not to send, just to remember. Then I burn it in the fire pit out back. Some debts are never repaid. Some receipts you carry alone. But that one? That one's ash now. It's 1:34 a.m. again. Cold coffee. My garage office feels like a bunker now. Quiet, tight, controlled. On my screen, the full digital map of Monroe Gear's backend. Every plug, every switch. The last time I felt this focused, we were prepping for our first REI pitch. Tessa missed that week entirely. She was detoxing at a silent yoga retreat in Sedona. Now she's throwing tantrums on Instagram about IP bullying. She has no idea how deep this goes. I open the source code. There, tucked into line 214 of our logistics script, is my watermark EM Holdings version 3.0. Tessa thought I was just a co-founder with a title. She never realized how many of the company's critical systems were built with private licensing templates. Under my LLC. The legal structure was intentional. I didn't do it to be secretive, I did it because we couldn't afford full legal coverage early on. So I absorbed the risk. And now I own the spine of our empire. Priya sends over another export. This one from internal Slack. Tessa, can someone get into the Shopify dashboard? Erica's redirect is blocking payment gateways. Intern Alex, we can't. Her account is the one with license credentials. Still shows external hosting, EM Holdings. She tagged it as low priority 2 years ago. She never changed it. Now she's calling me vindictive in email threads with her PR manager. I'm not vindictive. I'm methodical. By 3 a.m., I've cataloged everything I still legally hold. All Monroe Gear digital patents, the domain and subdomains, the e-commerce store infrastructure, the embedded vendor API systems, the trademark for our fold light design, yes, even that, and the only working payment processor contract. Her legal team sends a cease and desist. We respond with a contract reversion clause filed in 2018, signed by her. Back then, she didn't read anything over 2 paragraphs. It's not a battle, it's a checklist. I don't want to ruin her. I want to remind her I was the company, and now I'm just taking back what was never hers to begin with. The Monroe Gear State of Innovation event is set for Thursday noon. It's a redemption play. Press, partners, live Q&A. I know the format because I designed it 3 years ago for our first investor showcase. Now she's using the same schedule, same layout, same phrasing. But she forgot one thing. I still control the framework it's all built on. At 11:55 a.m., I log in again from my burner Zoom account. I'm not visible, not speaking, just observing. The countdown ends. Her face appears, polished and confident, standing against a branded step and repeat with the new Monroe Outdoors logo, barely holding its own in the frame. "Thank you all for joining," she says, voice slow and performative. "Today isn't just a new chapter, it's a whole new book." She's in full pitch mode, hands gesturing like she studied TED Talks, voice swinging between earnest and empowered. Then comes the demo. "Let me show you how our new digital experience will elevate your journey." She clicks the tablet. The projected site flickers. Then the lights dim automatically, part of the venue's pre-programmed theatrical setup. I helped build that cue flow, still have remote access to the sequence. On the main screen. Not the new brand, not the redesigned shop, just one line of blinking text on black. This platform and its core infrastructure are the intellectual property of Erica Monroe Holdings. Licensing not granted, terms violated, access revoked. There's a beat of silence, then chaos. Tessa tries to laugh it off. "We're, experiencing a brief sync error." But the mic feedback screeches. The room stiffens. An investor in the second row pulls out his phone. The brand representative from REI slowly walks to the back. In the corner, a projector assistant frantically checks the HDMI, the Wi-Fi, the tablet. Nothing changes. The black screen blinks again. This reversion follows formal filings made under active IP and licensing clauses signed 2018 to 2022. All vendor, platform, and app access now require reauthorization via EM Holdings. Tessa's voice is a whisper now. "Turn it off. Just cut the feed." But it's live-streamed. Thousands watching. And in the Zoom panel? A small, empty square labeled Legacy Admin 04 is still present. She sees it. Her eyes shift. Narrow. Scan. Then she stares straight at the camera. "Erica," she says under her breath. "This is insane. You're embarrassing everyone." Priya steps into frame again. Calm. Composed. A single hand rests lightly on the mic. "I think what's embarrassing," she says, "is expecting to inherit a company without understanding how it was built." A collective exhale. The tech team cuts the stream. Too late. Clips go viral within hours. TikTok stitches. Twitter threads. Reddit explodes. #founders revenge trends for 3 hours straight. Someone makes a meme. "She fired her sister and got fired by reality." Another one shows Tessa next to the blackout screen. "When the CEO forgets who wired the walls." I don't post a thing. I don't make a statement. I just wait. Because the system did exactly what it was built to do. Protect the person who built it. 3 days after the livestream meltdown, a cease and desist from Tessa's Monroe Outdoors brand lands in my inbox. I forward it straight to my lawyer. She laughs. "Your ownership rights are solid," she says. "That brand is a knockoff of your own trademarks. You're within full rights to shut it down." So we do. I file a formal cease and desist. The site goes dark within 48 hours. The investor forum she tried to host gets canceled after 2 major sponsors pull out. REI ends the partnership. The final domino drops when Shopify disables their account due to quote, licensing complications. That night, I sit in my garage office, still my favorite place in the world, and sip hot cocoa while watching the Monroe Gear LinkedIn page go completely inactive. Just vanishes. No updates. No spin. Even Uncle Ray deletes his reposts. My inbox dings. It's from Dad. Subject: "She was scared." That's all. "Erica, I don't think she meant to hurt you this way. She got overwhelmed. She thought she had to prove herself. I should have stepped in sooner. I just didn't know how far it would go." I hover over reply. Then I click, mark as read. No one forced him to stay silent when she stripped me from the founder wall. When she slashed my title in icing. When she told people I cooked the numbers. Overwhelm doesn't excuse erasure. That week, Priya leaves Monroe Gear. Quietly, professionally, she joins me on a consulting basis. No titles, just loyalty. We talk once a week. No gossip, just clarity. She tells me what the last week in that office was like. Empty desks, canceled meetings, warehouse guys calling her, confused, logistics vendors panicking. Tessa hasn't been seen in 3 days. On day 4, she posts a blurry Instagram story from an airport lounge. Sometimes you just need to reset. Headed somewhere with no service. Black heart. And just like that, she ghosts. The company never recovers. I don't post a victory lap. I don't reach out to staff. I don't give interviews. Because I don't need to prove I was right. I was always the one holding the beams together. I was just done letting people hammer holes through them and call it vision. 3 months later, the air in Bellingham, Washington tastes like something I forgot I missed. Clean. Cold. Honest. Lake Whatcom glints in the distance. The leaves have turned gold and rust. I walk the gravel path near my new workshop every morning, just to feel ground under my feet again. Not concrete. Not glass halls or fake smiles. Just earth. My new startup is quiet by design. A small team. 3 women. We craft modular outdoor gear for women with actual hips, real shoulders, and no patience for designs made for average men in XL. The company has no PR strategy, no press rollout, no boardroom drama, just hands-on fabric, boots in mud, gear that works. I don't answer to investors anymore. I don't explain my choices in PowerPoints. The first product ships out in brown paper, wrapped with twine. Inside is a handwritten note. Built for the trail ahead. E. My name is on the tag this time. I drink espresso every morning from a hand-thrown clay mug made by a local artist. It's imperfect. It fits my palm like it was meant to. The glaze near the handle reads, built, not gifted. Tessa hasn't contacted me since the livestream fallout. Not a text, not a call, nothing. The Monroe family group chat died the same day the company did. Just a quiet puff of digital silence. Dad never wrote again. And that's fine. Because this little shop on the edge of a lake, these boots I'm testing, this gear that's finally made for someone like me, this is enough. It was never about revenge. It was about reclamation. I didn't destroy the house. I just took back the beams I brought, let her build her own. And if she ever does, maybe I'll even be proud. But I won't be standing in the background holding the spotlight anymore. That job's filled. By me.